What up, YouTube? It's your boy Young Soul back, and basically, we looks like we got the Witcher 3 Digital Foundry Face-Off between Xbox One and PS4. I'm leaving PC out of this, and the reason why I'm leaving PC out of this is because we pretty much know PC is gonna have the best of all options. If you can afford the price, you get this on PC. Obviously, you get the smooth 1080p, if not better. um, and you'll get that smooth buttery 60 frames per second. So I mean, if you're gonna go uh, all out, get that PC version. But for the purposes of this video, we're talking about the static consoles. We're talking about the consoles that obviously it can't upgrade, so you pretty much have to go with what it is. And it looks like with the Digital Foundry Face-Off, it looks like the PS4 version is the winner for all intents and purposes. I mean, from what I'm hearing on the Xbox One version, it's a really good game on the Xbox One, but the PS4 version actually stands above it. So there's a couple of things I wanted to highlight in what I read. Essentially, I'm going down from paragraph to paragraph, and I'm noticing that the PS4 kind of takes the cake in all the different areas. For instance, as far as the visuals, you're seeing that the PS4 version is native 1080p, and it says in paragraph 4, sentence 3 and 4, it basically says about the Xbox One version, it says, quote unquote, meanwhile, the promised dynamic resolution solution on the Xbox One doesn't appear to hit 1080p target in any of our samples. Instead, for the most part, the game renders at 1600 by 900, which is 900p, with only video cutscenes providing true 1080p output for any noticeable length of time. And again, that paragraph is that's from paragraph 4, sentence 3, and I'll put the link to the whole article in the description. And then what you see in paragraph 5, sentence 3, still on the visuals, it says, based on direct image comparisons, it seems Xbox One struggles to reconcile its upscaled resolution with this anti-aliasing method, and as a result, there's a big tail off in clarity the further into the distance you look. So it seems like another place where the Xbox One struggles as far as I guess draw distance as far as the anti-aliasing is concerned. So that's another thing. And then on to the actual performance, where a lot of Xbox fans don't really get into the argument, but the Xbots try to act like every game runs smoother on the Xbox One. That's not always the case, and even though the Xbox One does, and I repeat, the Xbox One does have higher frame rates, there's also problems with that. Okay, and so because essentially, if you go through it, it talks about the performance. I mean, the performance actually having a problem. I didn't have that quote written down, so I'm kind of looking through the article right now. But it basically says, all right, dang, let me see if I can't find out where this. Let me see if I can't give you the paragraph. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, basically paragraph 13, it says, and I'm quoting, to summarize console performance, PS4 has an advantage in capping its frame rate at 30 frames per second, while Xbox One daringly keeps things unlocked. Both are V-synced, but the issue for the latter case, the Xbox One, is the frame rates go between 20 and 40 frames per second, meaning there's no consistency to when your screen refreshes with a new frame. Okay, and it goes on to say, in theory, this issue is fixable on Xbox One because the Xbox One version does rarely dip below 30 frames per second. But it then goes on to say, Sony's platform is our preference right now, though, based on the fact that that it's at a capped frame rate, which prevents what the article talks about is frame pacing problems. So there's that to contend with too. Um, and then basically the last paragraph, paragraph 19, where it gives the verdict. If anybody knows Digital Foundry Face-Offs, they go basically, it's under the paragraph, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the Digital Foundry verdict. If you go to the last actual paragraph, which is paragraph 9, and it's sentence 2, it basically says and I'm quoting here, on the console front, as of update 1.01, the PS4 version is the king, thanks to cleaner 1080p image and a slightly smoother frame pacing. So they're saying that the frame rate is still better on the Xbox One, but the frame pacing is better on the PS4, and therefore allows for less juddering during gameplay. So all these Xbots who go out there talking about a higher frame rate, higher frame rate, higher frame rate, higher frame rate doesn't mean a smoother experience in all cases. And this is one of the cases where a higher frame rate, just because it hits a higher frame rate, does not mean that it's a smoother experience, because the frame pacing problems, as opposed to the PS4 version, which doesn't have as good a frame rate, but it keeps the pacing, the frame pacing, in a good at a good level. So there it is right there. It says right here, as just to summarize it, it says on the console front, as of update 1.01, that means things can change, but as of update 1.01, the PS4 version is quote unquote king. That'll do it for this video. Comments down below. I'm gonna put the link to the article, and holla at your boy. Peace.